A lot has already been said, a lot that I can reiterate. I think that this is probably one of the times we are a little bit more bipartisan, and that our constituent work is being comprised of a lot of the same issues. I do want to say that we are having to work overtime because of passports specifically. I got a text message from my chief right before the weekend saying that he was going to have someone work over the weekend because last week alone we got 30 passport cases that came in. We are kind of overwhelmed with passports, and much like it's already been said, we've been told that when people call the passport office, they're told to call your congressperson. So it feels as if we're doing the heavy lifting, and I don't want to beat up on you, but I do want to be real in this setting because this is what oversight is about. And while I can appreciate advertising and telling people that this is the time frame that it's taking, we've got emergencies that are arising as well. Now, because I am in Dallas, my constituents don't have to travel far because we do have a location there that can help them same day. And that has definitely proven to be really beneficial to my constituents. And I do want to say that they really do appreciate the help. And so I know that they would send you the type of love that I'm about to read from one of my constituents, Sean, because I want people to understand it's not just summer vacations, even though those are spiking as well. It's other opportunities. Sean contacted us frantically. He contacted my office, he contacted me directly, he contacted another elected official because he really needed help with the passport. But ultimately, he emailed me back and he said my passport application had encountered unexpected delays, which left me uncertain about receiving it in time for a great academic achievement of my life, an internship in Oxford University. He was about to miss this because he could not get his passport. That's not something that everyone gets an opportunity to do. And so I'm excited that we were able to help him. He was excited that we were able to help him, but I do want you to understand truly the depth of the issues that exist as it relates to passports. I'm gonna move on to Social Security though, because something that really hasn't been highlighted is something that was said by one of my colleagues from across the aisle, and I feel as if he was saying the quiet part out loud. He started talking about Social Security, and he started talking about life expectancy, and he talked about the fact that basically most people would die before they would ever get to Social Security. That's to summarize it. Do you remember that questioning? Okay. And so right now, he has a problem with Social Security because right now, most people will live to see Social Security. So essentially, we want to say that we're offering Social Security on paper, but we don't ever want to have to see a payout for that, is what I got out of that questioning, and that is unfortunate. And I'm curious to know if my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are expressing this faux outrage about this, because when we look at the cuts that have been taken, and in fact, that particular colleague was upset because there weren't cuts to Social Security. If I understand your testimony to be correct, you have testified that you've never been fully funded, or at least for the last, did you say 14 years?
That's correct. 14 of the last 25 years, we have not received the president's budget request.
So you've not even been fully funded, and that particular colleague was upset about the fact that there is no negotiation that's going to take place about cutting the funding even more, but this does have real-life consequences. I do have a constituent. We're working on her case right now. She's a mother of 3 small children. She reached out to our district office for help because she has been unable to work since August of 2020 after an illness attacked her muscles and nervous system. She is also unable to drive and some days even struggles to move. She applied for disability with Social Security Administration but is still waiting to hear back to get approved. And because she hasn't heard back, she has reached out to various community organizations throughout my district to see if they can help her with rent and utilities. This should not be the story of America, but I am alarmed when I hear people say the quiet part out loud. It seems like what we want to do is say, hey, we're gonna fight against y'all because that's what we need to do for our constituents. But at the end of the day, if Social Security isn't getting through the cases, guess what? That means that we're saving money because we're not getting money to people that really need that money. And so you know, I hope that my colleagues across the aisle take this seriously as we are about to endure a fight as it relates to the budget. And if we really do want to prioritize our shared constituencies, as our stories are the same on both sides of the aisle. And the solution that I've heard from each of you is funding. Funding so that you can modernize. Do I have that wrong?
That's correct. For Social Security, we need funding to hire staff, to maintain staff, to increase our IT investments, to fund our overtime to support our backlogs.
So if we're all having the same problems, it sounds like we all know what the solution is. Fully fund your agencies. Thank you for your commitment to the people of the United States of America. And with that, I yield back.